Fire King Structure Deck combos. These are basically the only combos that you will need to know to run the Fire King Structure Deck. Now, all the combos that I'm going to show you today are purely for the Fire King Structure Deck. You can run all of them with just one copy of the Structure Deck. Of course, they do all work better when you have 3 copies. And if you want to know how to combine 3 copies, then check out the card above for that video. But let's get straight into it. So the first combo that we're going to look at is our 1-card combo with Legendary Fire King Ponix. This combo only requires having Ponix in your hand. You don't need any other cards, and this will open up our main Fire King play. So let's get right into it. Alright, so for this, like I said, all you need is Fire King Ponix. This is the combo that basically everyone knows, and if you don't know it, you really need to. So what you're going to do is normal summon your Ponix, whose effect will then activate, allowing us to add Fire King Sanctuary from our deck to our hand. Then we're going to activate Sanctuary, which will activate the field spell Fire King Island straight onto our field. Alright, now we've got this set up, we can use the effect of our Fire King Island, destroying the Ponix on our field, and adding our Sacred Fire King Garunix to our hand. Now, since a monster was just destroyed, a fire monster was just destroyed, we can now actually activate the effect of Garunix. When a fire monster is destroyed, you can special summon your Garunix from your hand. And then his secondary effect will activate when special summoned, allowing us to destroy our Fire King avatar Barong from our deck. And just like that, you've got a pretty decent setup. So let me show you exactly what this does. So what we've got here is our Garunix on the field, a nice level 8, and a Baron and Ponix in our graveyard. So as we end our turn here, then during our opponent's turn, during the standby phase, we can activate these effects from our graveyard. So we'll start off with our Legendary Fire King Ponix, who will add himself from the graveyard to the hand. And then Baron's effect during the standby phase will add a Fire King card from our deck to the hand. So what we're going to grab, if we don't have him already, is Fire King High Avatar Kirin. We're going to add Kirin to our hand, and that gives us a decent setup. Now, during our opponent's main phase, we can activate the quick effect of High Avatar Kirin, which will then allow us to destroy a fire monster to special summon him from our hand. And since we just added back our Ponix, what we're going to do is destroy the Ponix in our hand, and special summon the Kirin to our field. And just like that, we've got all the setup we need. So what we can do from there is, of course, during our turn, our Ponix will come back. But during our opponent's turn, if our opponent special summons a monster, which they are likely to, we can use the effect of our Fire King Sanctuary. With this card's effect, when our opponent special summons a monster, we can then Xyz summon one Fire Xyz monster using Fire King monsters we control. That will, of course, allow us to go into Garunix Eternity, Yang of the Fire Kings. And when he is Xyz summoned, he destroys all other monsters on the field. That can be done during our opponent's turn, wiping out all their monsters as soon as they special summon, which is a pretty nasty effect. And then, of course, once we go back to our turn, we can use the effect of Garunix again, detaching one to destroy one of their Spell or Trap cards. Of course, they don't have any at the moment, so we'll have to destroy ours, but that's another option we can do. And then we've got Graveyard set up with our Garunix again, so we can go into Fire King Island, destroying a monster in our hand, such as our Ponix, to grab another Fire King, and then Garunix will activate from the graveyard, special summoning himself to our field. Another thing that could happen is if Garunix Eternity is destroyed, you can then special summon monsters from your graveyard up to the number of materials. So you can basically bring back Garunix and your Kirin straight from the graveyard as soon as Garunix Eternity is destroyed, and then their effects will activate, of course, Sacred Fire King Garunix. You can use to send your Fencing Firefarer to the graveyard to get another destruction, or you can just set up for your next turn. Okay, our next combo is the combo that will get out our Coach King Giant Trainer, the other big boss monster of the structure deck. So what you're going to need is actually 3 cards. You'll need your Legendary Fire King Ponix, which you should run at 3. If you have 3, you should run at 3. Fire King High Avatar Kirin, which you should run at least 2 if you can, and any level 8 Beast, Wing Beast, or Beast Warrior fire monster. So that can include your Fire King High Avatar Garunix, it can be your Coach Captain Bearman, Sacred Phoenix of Nephis, or Bonfire Colossus. And it can also be Sacred Fire King Garunix, but you will need one of these in your deck as well for this combo to work. So preferably not that one unless you're running multiple copies. So any of these 4 cards in your hand along with Ponix and Kirin. Let's take a quick look at how this works. Okay, so to start off, what we're going to actually do is use the effect of High Avatar Kirin. This will destroy our level 8 monster in our hand and special summon itself to our field. This will then trigger the effect of the Ponix in our hand. When a fire monster is destroyed, you can actually special summon Ponix straight from your hand. Now we'll continue just like we did before with Ponix's effect, adding our Fire King Sanctuary, and then we'll activate our Sanctuary, which will place our Fire King Island on our field. Now again, just like before, we're going to use Fire King Island to destroy the Ponix, add our Garunix to the hand, and then Garunix's effect will special summon himself to the field. Next, we're going to use Garunix's effect. This time, instead of sending our Baron, we're going to send our Avata. Now, you may look at this field, and it is very similar to the field that we had before. You may want to just leave that as is, and use it to go into your Garunix Eternity during your opponent's turn. Or what we're going to do instead is send our Avata. Destroy Avata from the deck. Avata's effect will then activate, special summoning the level 8 from our graveyard. And just like that, we have 3 level 8s on the field, which means we can either go into Garunix Eternity with 3 level 8s if we want, or with 2. Keep in mind that the level 8 that you special summon with Avata's effect will be destroyed during the end phase, so you should make use of it while you can. And what we're going to do is go into our Coach King Giant Trainer. You can then activate Giant Trainer's effect, attaching 1 material to draw a card, and you can do this up to 3 times per turn. So just like that, with this combo, we have 3 extra cards in our hand. We've got a bunch of graveyard setup. Ponix will add himself to the hand during the standby phase. If our Giant Trainer is destroyed during opponent's turn, we can special summon Garunix. Otherwise, during our next turn, we can use Fire King Island to destroy the Ponix or the Giant Trainer to then special summon our Garunix off of Garunix's own effect. So we've got a lot that we can do here. We've got a lot of graveyard setup, and of course we have 3 extra cards in our hand. The other bonus of this combo is that it doesn't actually use up your normal summon. We special summoned Ponix off of his own effect, which means we still have a normal summon. So if you have another monster in your hand, or if you draw a monster off of Giant Trainer's effect, you can then normal summon it and go with more plays if you can. Okay, finally, the last combo that we're going to look at is basically the same thing, but with different cards. For this combo, we have our legendary Fire King Ponix, we have our Fire King High Avatar Kirin, and Fire King High Avatar Avata. So if you have these 3 cards in your hand, you can still do the same thing and special summon Coach King Giant Trainer. Let's take a look at how that works. Okay, so this is going to work a little bit differently. What we're going to do this time is actually normal summon our Ponix. So this will use up our normal summon, unlike the last version of the combo, but it will get us otherwise the same result. So we're going to use Ponix's effect, grab Fire King Sanctuary, then activate our Sanctuary to activate Fire King Island straight from our deck. Next, we're going to use our Island's effect to destroy the Ponix on our field, who will then add Garunix to the hand, which will then special summon himself to our field. Now with Garunix special summon to the field, what you're going to do now is trigger his effect, and we're going to actually destroy. So again, you could do the same setup just as the last combo. If you want to go into Garunix Eternity instead, that's fine. But if you want to go into your Coach King Giant Trainer, then you're going to need to send one of your level 8s from your deck to the graveyard, or you're going to have to destroy one of your level 8s from your deck. So we're going to destroy our Garunix, and then we're going to activate the effect of Kirin. So we're going to destroy the Avata in our hand to special summon Kirin to our field, and then Avata's effect will trigger when it's destroyed. We can special summon a Fire Winged Beast, or Beast Warrior from our graveyard. So we're going to special summon Fire King Avatar Garunix, our other level 8. And just like that, 3 level 8s, we're going to Xyz summon into Coach King Giant Trainer, who once again will allow us to draw 3 cards. So there you go, that is the basics of this combo. It is very, very simple. Again, during our opponent's turn, if they destroy our Giant Trainer, first of all, we get Ponix back, and if they destroy Giant Trainer, we get back Garunix. If they don't, then on our next turn, we've got a lot we can do. We can use Fire King Island. First, I should have actually normal summoned Ponix, but since we've got another fire monster, we can destroy that, grab our Baron or anything else. Garunix will then trigger in the graveyard, special summoning to the field, and then destroying another from our deck. In this case, I would go Fencing Fire Ferret to pop one of our opponent's cards. And then I've still got a lot more plays I can do here. I can go Circle of the Fire Kings to, again, I should have normal summoned Ponix, I don't know what I'm doing. But then I can special summon our Kirin from the graveyard, and then Xyz into Garunix Eternity, who will destroy all of the opponent's monsters. He can also be used to destroy our opponent's spell and trap cards. So that are the 3 basic combos that you need to know in order to run the Fire King structure deck. I hope you appreciated this video. I hope this video was helpful to all of you who are running the Fire King structure deck. Again, combos and decks work a lot better if you have 3 copies of the structure deck. Then you can triple up on your Ponix, you can triple up on your Kirin, you can double up on Garunix, and just helps you get all the cards that you need a lot faster when you need them, because you really want to see that Ponix in your hand first thing. I mean, there's not much else you can do without your Ponix, or at least your island. You gotta have at least the island on the field, but preferably with the Ponix as well. So that is why we also can add cards like the Snake Eye engine, which I discussed in a previous video as well. Again, if you want to see any more videos on how to play this deck, what cards to add, or how to combine 3 of them, then check out the card above, or wait till the end card where the playlist will come up. But that is all for today. Thank you all so very much for watching. My name has been Senkara, and until next time, see ya.